Welcome to a video lecture that details about static pressure, its units of conversion and estimation. So with respect to fluid mechanics, we have defined what is a pressure. We know that it is defined as the normal compressive force acting on a surface divided by the area of the surface. So that is termed as pressure, and we have discussed more about pressure with respect to a typical fluid element, and also we have seen the Pascal's law, which governs the direction independent property of pressure with respect to a fluid element. And more importantly, in fluid statics, we have discussed hydrostatic equation that governs the estimation of pressure at any location with respect to its distance from the free surface, that is pressure directly proportional to height or depth of the fluid column. So with this knowledge background, we will discuss more about static pressure. So in this lecture, we will discuss about the units of conversion. So we know that pressure is generally expressed in SI units, that is Pascal or Newton per meter square, and sometimes for doing numericals and all, you need to convert from one unit into another, that is SI to MKS, MKS to CGS, and of course we have some commercial units also. So we should be conversant with the conversion from one units into another. So that we will discuss with the help of some numericals. And along with that, we will see one or two numericals about how to estimate pressure using the hydrostatic equation. Okay. And now, fluid statics, gauge and vacuum pressure. So normally what we term pressure is the gauge pressure. You see this is known as gauge pressure. That means pressure above atmospheric pressure. So we know that the atmospheric pressure is 1 bar, and pressure that is expressed in atmospheric pressure gauge is normally termed as gauge pressure. So before explaining more about gauge and vacuum pressure, let us see this example. So this is a pressure cooker with a pressure gauge fitted on the top of it. So this pressure gauge is an instrument that measures gauge pressure. So this pressure gauge is directly connected here, and it senses the pressure inside the pressure cooker, and this analog reading, sometimes maybe digital, it gives you the value of pressure in the pressure cooker. So this is one of the methods of measuring pressure by using a Bourdon tube pressure gauge. So it is called a Bourdon tube pressure gauge. And let us see this. So this is a big cylinder, maybe an industrial unit, and at the vertical wall a pressure gauge is fixed. So this reads pressure of the fluid inside the cylinder or vessel at this particular location. Okay, so that pressure is corresponding to the height of the fluid above this level, that is H. So this is normally used in industries, and this is an example that we use in our domestic purposes, used for our domestic purposes. So in both these cases, we are measuring pressure. So one by using a Bourdon tube pressure gauge, other one using a pressure gauge which is connected at the side of a vertical tank. So both these applies the hydrostatic principle, that is P equal to rho GH. And now we will discuss about different units of pressure. Okay, see, as I already told, atmospheric pressure is 1 bar. It is 1 bar. So 1 bar is also known as 1 Newton per meter square. I'm sorry, it is 101,325 Newton per meter square. You know that. So gauge pressure means pressure which is expressed in the units of atmospheric pressure. So we have this relation at absolute pressure equal to atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. Okay, gauge pressure means any pressure that is above atmospheric pressure, above 1 bar. Okay, then the second one is vacuum pressure. So vacuum, as the name indicates, if the pressure is below atmospheric, we express it as a vacuum pressure, and that you can read by using a vacuum gauge. Okay, So in that case, what is absolute pressure? It is atmospheric pressure minus vacuum pressure. Okay, so let us discuss more on this. And suppose the atmospheric pressure is 1 bar. We know that it is also known as 1 atmosphere. And as I already told, 1 bar equal to 101,325 Pascal. You should learn this. 101,325 Pascal or 101,325 Newton per meter square. Okay. And in kilopascals, you have 101,325 divided by 1000, that is 101.325 kilopascal, or approximately 100 kilopascal is 1 bar. Okay. And suppose the gauge pressure is 3.5 bar, then what is absolute pressure? It is 1 bar plus 3.5 bar, that will give you 4.5 bar. So gauge 3.5 bar means it is always above atmosphere, and on absolute units it is 4.5 bar, or you can convert into Pascal or kilopascal. 4.5 into 101.325 will give you this much kilopascal. Okay. Now suppose the pressure is 0.8 bar. The vacuum pressure of 0.8 bar, obviously that is below atmospheric pressure of 1 bar. So that means absolute pressure is 1 bar minus 0.8 bar, that is 0.2 bar, that is equal to this much kilopascal. So you should know what is meant by gauge pressure, what is meant by vacuum pressure, and how to express gauge pressure and vacuum pressure in terms of its respective absolute units. So gauge pressure plus atmospheric pressure will give you absolute pressure, whereas atmospheric pressure minus vacuum pressure will give you the corresponding value in absolute units. I think this is clear. And now in our vehicle tires, you might have seen the pressure levels, permissible pressure level. You see this for different tire size. You see these are the permissible pressure levels in front tire as well as rear tire of a particular vehicle. You see here it is 2.2 kilogram force per centimeter square, and bracket you see also 32. Similarly here you see 2.1 kilogram force per centimeter square, and in the bracket you see it is 30. Similarly here also 2.8 kilogram force per centimeter square, in the bracket you see 41. So what does it represent? This 2.8 is another unit of pressure, that is kilogram force per centimeter square. Similarly this 41 is another unit of pressure, that is PSI. You see here PSI, kilogram force per centimeter. PSI means pounds per square inch, that is written here. That is another unit of expressing pressure. Okay. Generally this PSI you can see in tire inflating stations and all. 1 PSI, you should study this unit of conversion. 1 PSI, that is 1 pounds per square inch, that is an MKS unit, equal to 6895 Pascal. Okay. 1 PSI equal to 6895 Pascal, that is equal to divided by 1000, 6.895 kilopascal, or correspondingly you can write 6895 divided by 101,325, that will give you 0.068 bar. Okay, 0.068 bar. And now we'll discuss more on kilogram force per centimeter square. So before that, you see this fluid statics pressure expressed in various units. You see bar, already we have discussed. Pascal, that also we have discussed. We know the conversion from bar to Pascal. ATM dot, that is atmospheric pressure. For example, 0.8 atmospheric pressure, that means 0.8 bar. And you see this PSI, just now we have discussed what is pounds per square inch and its corresponding value of 1 pounds per square inch in bar, that also we have seen. And another unit is kilogram force per centimeter square. So we have the equation 1 kilogram force equal to 9.81 Newton, that is a unit of weight. W equal to M into G. So Newton is a unit of weight, so 1 kilogram force corresponds to 9.81 Newton. You should know this conversion. Or you divide by meter square, 1 kilogram force per meter square equal to 9.81 Newton per meter square. Now it is the unit of pressure because Newton per meter square. You can convert 1 meter square into centimeter square because 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So 1 meter square will be 100 into 100, that is 10 raised to 4 centimeter square. So 1 kilogram force divided by 10 raised to 4 centimeter square is equal to 9.81 Newton per meter square. We have converted meter square into centimeter square. Okay, and now 1 by this 10,000, that will give you 0.0001 kilogram force per centimeter square, that is equal to 9.81 Newton per meter square. Right hand side remains the same, or you can flip it, that is 9.81 Newton per meter square equal to 0.0001 kilogram force per centimeter square. So what is 1 Newton per meter square? Then this value divided by 9.81, that is 0.0001 divided by 9.81 kilogram force per centimeter square, that is equal to 0.000101 kilogram force per centimeter square. But we know that 1 bar is 101.325 Newton per meter square. Or you can multiply this value into 101.325, then you are getting this equal to 1.02 kilogram force per centimeter square. Okay, I think it is clear. So what does it mean? You can consolidate like this: 1 bar equal to, this is 1 bar, that is equal to 1.02 kilogram force per centimeter square, that is equal to 1 atmosphere, already we have discussed. That is equal to 101 Pascal, that also we have discussed, and that is equal to 14.7 psi. Okay, so this conversion is very important. We should study this, especially bar to 1 kilogram force per centimeter square, bar to psi, etc. So we have discussed this also. And what remains is how to express pressure in meters of liquid column. Okay, so this you can express with the help of the corresponding hydrostatic equation, that is P equal to rho into G into H. As far as a particular fluid is concerned, rho is constant, G is also constant, so P can be directly expressed in terms of H. Okay, that means pressure is directly expressed in terms of H, means meters of a liquid column. That means pressure 1 bar you can express in terms of meters of water column. The same pressure you can express in terms of meters of mercury. The same pressure you can express in terms of meters of carbon tetrachloride, meters of benzene, meters of oil. Only thing is you need to know the value of rho of that particular fluid, or more correctly you should be able to know the specific gravity of the fluid. Once you know the specific gravity, you can find out the density if you can multiply the specific gravity with the density of water. So with this knowledge background, we will try to do 2 tasks. So you have to do two tasks here. Task 1, estimate the static pressure at bottom of any 2 water reservoirs used or employed for electricity generation by the application of hydrostatic law. How to do this? You need to find out P at the bottom of a reservoir. How to get it? P equal to, you can apply the hydrostatic balance equation, hydrostatic equation, P equal to rho GH. The only thing is, of course, water reservoir density is 1000 kilogram per meter cube. Only thing is you need to find out the height of water in the water reservoir at its maximum capacity. So you can take any water reservoir existing in India which is used for electricity generation, and you should know, you can know the value of H, that is height of water column or depth of water column, or head at which water is available in the water reservoir. This is head H, it is known as water head. So if you are multiplying rho G with the corresponding value of head, you will get the pressure. Okay, and the task 2, express 700 millimeters of mercury in Newton per millimeter square, Pascal, atmosphere, bar, vacuum pressure, absolute pressure. So this is a unit of conversion. You know what is 700 millimeters of Hg? As I already just now I told, that is pressure expressed in terms of head. So how to convert 700 millimeters of Hg into pressure? P equal to rho gh again. So rho, you have to substitute the density of mercury, that is 13.6 into 10 raised to 3. G is 9.81. What is H? H is 700 millimeters. You can convert into meters, that is 0.7 meters. So you will get corresponding P value. If you are substituting rho as well as H and G in SI units, you will get pressure P also in SI unit. What is SI unit of rho? It is kilogram per meter cube. What is SI unit of G? That is meter per second square. What is a SI unit of H? That is meters. Then if you are substituting all these values in SI unit, you will get P in SI unit, that is Newton per meter square. So once you know the value in Newton per meter square, you can convert it in Newton per millimeter square, because 1 meter equal to 1000 millimeters. So Newton per meter square means Pascal. So if you get the value in Pascal, you can find out the corresponding value in atmosphere, because we know that 1 atmospheric pressure equal to 101,325 pascals. And also we know the value in bar, because 1 bar is 1 atmospheric pressure. And absolute pressure as well as vacuum pressure. So once you know the value of pressure, okay, if it is less than 1 atmosphere, that is vacuum. Okay, so that is a vacuum pressure. You can add that vacuum pressure with the atmospheric pressure of 1 bar. You will get the corresponding value in absolute units. Please try to do this. It's very simple. We'll do a similar problem in this video lecture. Okay, the question is like this. Question: on the suction side of a pump, a gauge shows a negative pressure of 0.35 bar. Express the pressure in terms of A, intensity of pressure in kilopascal, B, in Newton per meter square absolute, C, meters of water gauge, D, meters of oil, specific gravity 0.82, meters of oil absolute, centimeters of mercury gauge, given relative density of mercury as 13.6. This is a typical example regarding units conversion of pressure. So if you can do this, you can do all typical problems belonging to this category. So what is given? Negative pressure of 0.35 bar. That means it is below 1 atmospheric pressure or 1 bar pressure. So the pressure is vacuum. Okay, the pressure is vacuum. So vacuum pressure is 0.35. So what is absolute value? Because we know that absolute pressure equal to atmospheric pressure minus vacuum pressure. Okay, so we'll start. What is A? Intensity of pressure in kilopascal. Okay, given vacuum pressure as 0.35 bar. So the absolute pressure is, as I already told, 1 bar minus 0.35 bar, that will give you 0.65 bar. Okay, so what is the corresponding absolute pressure in kilopascal? 0.65 into 100 pascal. Okay, 100 kilopascal, because 1 bar is 100 or not 1 kilopascal. So if you multiply 0.65 with 101.325, you will get 65.86 kilopascal in absolute unit. That is question number A. Okay, what is B? Newton per meter square in absolute. Okay, so 65.86 kilopascal means 65.86 into 10 raised to 3, that is 1000 pascals. That is 65860 pascals or 65860 Newton per meter square absolute. Okay, what is C? Meters of water gauge. That means we are expressing this pressure 0.35 bar in water head. Okay, so there you have to use this equation of static pressure estimation, P equal to rho gh. Okay, so for water, if pressure is 1 bar, that is 101,325 pascal, what is H? H equal to P by rho g. P is 101,325 in pascals. You substitute the value in SI unit divided by rho of water, that is 1000 into g. That will give you 10.38 meters of water. So you should know 1 bar pressure means 10.32 meters of water. So what does it mean physically? 1 bar pressure is the pressure exerted by 10 meters of water or 10.3 meters of water at its bottom surface. So if we have a 10 meter water column, the pressure at the bottom of the 10 meter water column corresponds to 1 bar. Okay, so here in absolute units the pressure is 0.65 bar. Okay, because we need meters of water gauge. Okay, so see 0.65 bar absolute pressure corresponds to 0.65 into 10.32, that is 6.71 meter water absolute. Okay, or in terms of gauge you'll get, or vacuum, it is 0.35 into 10.32, that is 3.61 water gauge, that is vacuum pressure. Okay, D, meters of oil, specific gravity given as 0.82, absolute units, that is D, meters of oil. So how to get that? Same equation you can use, that is, what is pressure here? Pressure is, you see, this is 65860 Newton per meter square. You can substitute this as rho g h, rho of oil into g into h of oil. Okay, what is the rho of oil? 0.82 into 10 raised to 3. G is given and h of oil. So what is h of oil? You can substitute P by rho g. That will give you 8.19 meters of oil absolute. So if you compare these two h values, that is, here it is 6.71 meter of water absolute. The same pressure here is 8.19 meter of oil absolute. So what does it mean? That means the pressure exerted by 8.19 meter of oil at its bottom is 1 bar, whereas pressure exerted by 6.71 meter of water at its bottom is 1 bar. That means it is a relative density that comes into play. Okay, because relative density of oil is only 0.82, whereas that of water is 1. Okay, and the last one, what is the last one? You see, centimeters of mercury gauge. The same equation you can use, P equal to rho GH. So here you see this, what is the gauge pressure? This value 0.35 into 101.325. Okay, because we need the value in mercury gauge, so you have to substitute the gauge pressure 0.35. So 0.35 into 101.325 will give you rho GH, that is rho of mercury multiplied by G into H of mercury. What is the rho of mercury? Relative density of mercury is 13.6. So rho is 13.6 into 10 raised to 3 into G into H of mercury. Mercury head H equal to, if you solve this, you will get the value in 26 centimeters of mercury gauge. Okay, so what we have done is we have used that hydrostatic equation P equal to rho GH. The same pressure can be expressed in terms of liquid column, maybe water column, oil column, or mercury column, and you can express the resulting value in absolute unit. If you want it in, you can express the same in gauge or vacuum, and also you can express in any units, Newton per millimeter square, kilogram force per centimeter square, bar, psi, etc., etc. So we should know about this units of conversion as well as the application of this hydrostatic equation for estimating the fluid head, which is a direct representation of the pressure at any point. And now we'll do another problem. The question is like this: an open tank contains water up to a depth of 2 meters. Okay, 2 meters. So you know that 2 meters is H. Okay, so you can directly find out the pressure, and above it an oil of specific gravity is 0.9 for a depth of 1 meter. Find the pressure intensity. That means it is an open tank that contains two fluids. First fluid is water, the second fluid is oil. Since oil is having low density than water, oil will be at the top of the water column. This will be the arrangement. You see, this is water, this length, it is 2 meters, it is 2 meters, H is 2 meters, and this is oil, and this height, vertical height is 1 meter as given in the problem, and it is specific gravity of oil, it is 0.9. Okay, so the question is find the pressure intensity at the interface of two liquids. So this is the line of interface of the two liquids. So if you want to find out the interface pressure, what should be the interface pressure? Interface pressure will be pressure exerted by the column of liquid on the top. Always you see P equal to rho GH, where H is the height of the liquid column above that location where pressure is to be estimated. So at the interface, H equal to 1 meter. H equal to 1 meter. So pressure estimation, it will go like this. At the pressure at the interface of two liquids equal to rho GH of oil. Rho of oil is 0.9 into 10 raised to 3 because the specific gravity is given as 0.9. So 0.9 into 10 raised to 3 into G into 1 meter, that is H. So interface pressure in pascals is 8829 pascals. Again I repeat, you should substitute all the properties in SI unit. You will be getting the resulting pressure also in SI unit. Here SI unit of pressure is 8829 pascals or 8829 Newton per meter square. Second part. What is second part? Pressure intensity at the bottom of the tank. That means pressure intensity here. So pressure due to this height column of water plus pressure due to this height column of oil. Pressure due to oil column is this 8829. What is the pressure due to water column? It will be rho GH, rho of water into G of water into H 2 meter. So if you add these two pressures or pressure due to these two liquid columns, you will get the total pressure at the bottom of the liquid tank is 28,449 pascals or 28,449 Newton per meter square. You can correspondingly convert it into bar also. Okay, thank you.